Desiree, aka Mama Friendly, and I do all sorts of videos on my channel, from cooking videos to planner videos, vlogs, hauls, homeschool videos with a Disney twist, a little bit of everything. So if any of that sounds like fun to you, I hope you'll subscribe and join me on my YouTube adventure. Today's video is the last Foodie Friday collab of the year. This is a collab that has been hosted all year long, every single month, by my friends Jessica of Jessica My Rose and Tiffany of Small Town 6. And it's basically a foodie free-for-all. Any recipe that we want to share, whatever the theme, whatever the type, it doesn't matter. We're all here to celebrate food in every form. But of course, it being me and it being the holiday season, I decided that I was going to share some kind of Christmassy themed cookies with you guys today. These are super easy because at their base, you actually use a store-bought sugar cookie dough, like a ready-made dough. And if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. But if you're an old friend, you already know I always eat gluten and dairy-free exclusively. So I'm going to be using specifically an allergy-friendly sugar dough, but you can use any sugar cookie dough you like. What makes these a little bit extra is that I'm going to fill them as if they were little mini apple pies, and I'm going to decorate them as such. So it's going to be a little bit easier because we're not doing everything from scratch, but there's still going to be enough extra thrown in there so that everybody knows that these are very, very special cookies indeed. Now, with all that being said, let's jump right into our recipe, shall we? Alright friends, let me show you what we're going to need to make our super easy but really cute and really tasty mini apple pie sugar cookie cups. I am going to be using this particular pre-made sugar cookie dough. It's from a brand called Sweet Lawrence. Not sponsored, but I do love their cookie doughs because they're all gluten and dairy free. You can see here plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free. It's even peanut and tree nut free. So if you have any number of allergies, this will probably be your answer for those cookie cravings without having to make everything from scratch. Of course, feel free to use any sugar cookie dough you like. We're going to be baking these in cupcake liners so that we can make our pie crust out of the cookies. For the filling, we need a tablespoon of coconut oil. That's my oven preheating in the background, what you're hearing. We need 2 apples that we're going to peel and cube. I personally like Honey Crisps, so that's what I'm using, but you can use any sort of sweet, firm apple that you like. A teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm just going for the pumpkin pie spice. I already have it left over from Thanksgiving, so why not? And you're also going to need a little pinch of salt. And lastly, you're going to need 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. You can use fresh, you can use this stuff, whatever you like. I really like this one. This is an organic juice. And like I said, we're just going to need 1 teaspoon of that. Lastly, to make our caramel, we're going to need 2 tablespoons of water and a 1/4 cup of some sort of sugar. If you'd like to make it paleo, you can use coconut sugar, but I am fresh out. I'm going to be using just regular white granulated sugar instead. So I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I have my silicone sort of like cupcake muffin tray here. Because it's silicone and it's flimsy, I do have a cookie sheet underneath it just so that it's easier to get in and out of the oven without burning myself. Starting off, I went ahead and I greased all the cups with this avocado oil cooking spray. It's probably not necessary because I'm using silicone, but just in case, because I don't want these to stick, I'm going to put 1 little cookie dough round in each of the cups. And I'm going to bake these at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes, just until they start to get golden. And at that point, I'm going to take a spoon or like a cookie scoop, whatever I might have on hand. I think I might have a cookie scoop around. And I'm going to make an indent right in the middle so that the cookie kind of comes up around the sides, but there's a nice little well in the center, and that's going to be what holds our filling and also what makes the cookies look like a pie crust. So the cookie dough is ready, the oven is ready. We'll see you guys in 8 to 10 minutes. While the cookies are baking, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the next step. You guys know I love my apple peeler corer friend here. I use it during the holidays a lot. I'm going to have this one linked, down below in the description box in case you'd like to get it for yourself. But this is going to make easy work of our apples, cored and peeled, and it's already kind of sliced-ish. We want these into little cubes though, so now I'm going to go at them with a knife and make them kind of like diced a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna put my 1 tablespoon of coconut oil onto this pan here, and I've got that on medium heat. Once the coconut oil melts down some, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my apples, along with my cinnamon and nutmeg, or in my case, my pumpkin pie spice, a little bit of salt, just a pinch, and a teaspoon of the lemon juice. So I'm gonna add in all of my stuff in here. I probably could have used a bigger pan, to be honest, but that's fine. I'm just gonna make sure to stir often to make sure that every little bit of apple gets in contact with the heat. I'm just gonna cook these down over medium heat for about 10 minutes or so. So it's been about 10 minutes actually, because I checked them at 8 and they weren't very done at all. But that's fine because they seem to be doing all right now. They're definitely holding their shape when I mush them down. That's looking so cute. And by the way, the apples are still cooking. They've got a couple minutes left, but they are smelling so ridiculously good. I'm very, very excited for this. And this is such a simple recipe. The kiddos would love helping out with this. And they're probably going to love eating them as well. So this is really a nice one to like just get everybody in the festive season, you know, in the festive mode. This would also be great. I know it's a little late in the year now, but this would be great as like a kid's dessert, like kids table type treat for Thanksgiving as well. Everybody gets their own little tiny pie. If you were using a steel pan, I would recommend you like checking around the rim of the cookies before you do this step of mushing them down, because you want to make sure that they're going to be able to come out of the tin. So you want to make sure to like kind of free them from the edges a little bit. But those cookies look like they are prepared for our filling. Alright friends, there's our lovely spiced apples ready to go. So now I'm going to take approximately, I'd say a tablespoon or 2 of filling and put them into each cookie. And then we're going to put these back in the oven for another 5 to 6 minutes so that everything can finish cooking and coming together. I probably should have made my apples just the teensiest bit smaller so that they could fit more delicately into the cookie little divots, if you will. But we're going for a rustic look. Let's just go ahead and say that, right? So while the cookies are continuing to bake, I've got my 1/4 cup of sugar here in a pan. I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of water to it. And I am just kind of going to stir these together on medium-low heat until the sugar dissolves and the whole situation starts to kind of brown a little, or caramelize as it were, because we are in fact trying to make a very simple kind of caramel syrup to drizzle over the top of the pies when they come out of the oven. Our little pies are out of the oven. They've taken on some nice color. I am going to let them sit for maybe 10 minutes to kind of firm up a little bit, because I feel like if I try to move them right now, they're just going to fall apart because they're so soft. But I am going to go ahead and drizzle a little bit of this caramel over the top of each of them just to give them a little bit more sweetness. My caramel didn't quite caramelize as much as I would have liked, but I was worried that I was going to burn it. I have a pretty foolproof like vegan caramel recipe up on the channel though, from a recipe I made. Ironically enough, it was a caramel apple pie a couple years ago, so I will be posting that video up in the corner, and I'm also going to post it in the description box down below in case you'd like to see that version of it. Yeah, see, my caramel already, well, caramel is being used very loosely here, but it already kind of seized up, so we're going to call it more of a sugar syrup than anything else right now. But that's fine. Right now I'm just interested in adding a little bit of sweetness to the pies. And I've got a little bit of a secret ingredient that's going to hide a multitude of sins.
This is entirely optional, but I happen to have it on hand. I'll have it linked down below as well in case you'd like to get some for yourself. I actually got this on Amazon. I'm gonna use this to make a cutesy little design on top of each of the pies to make them look extra festive, and also, as I said earlier, to cover a multitude of sins. You could also melt some white chocolate chips if you have them on hand to do this with as well, or instead of. And in the summertime this would be great, maybe using the exact same method but with some peaches rather than apples. That would probably be amazing. Perfect. The prettiest apple pie cookies you ever did see.
Alright friends, there you have my amazing apple pie cookies. They were so tasty. They turned out really cute, and I will definitely be making these every year for my family when the holidays roll around. What's your favorite holiday cookie? Let me know in the comments. And if you try this recipe for yourself, I would love for you to come on back and let me know how you liked it. As always, I want to thank you all so much for being here and watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click that notification bell, because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Happy holidays!